year, Kate Winslet is here, and she came by to chat about her biopic, Lee, which tells the story of wartime photographer Lee Miller. Kate did an incredible job and has had several acting award nominations since then. We talked about so many topics when she was here. We would show a scene from one of her films and ask her to free associate whatever came to mind. We call it Scenes and Stories.
Scenes and Stories.
Yeah, Jesse. All right, well, last time there wasn't room in the show for that as well, because we were talkers. So here's even more Scenes and Stories. Next, Sense and Sensibility. Oh, I love this. Oh. Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman, one of my favorite humans. Oh my gosh. What do you remember from this scene?
Well, it's really emotional for me, actually, seeing that image. I haven't seen it for a long time, and very sadly, Alan Rickman died several years ago. I did get to work with him again. He directed me in a film in 2011. It was the last film he ever directed, but I remember day one of that shoot thinking, what am I doing here? Like, they've read the wrong name on the list. They didn't mean to cast me at all. They just phoned the wrong person, and they're just too embarrassed to tell me that they've made a mistake. I really thought that.
And you were brilliant.
I was not.
Yes, you
were.
Well,
I was young, and I was surrounded by incredible actors, but I was terrified of Alan Rickman in particular. Oh. So there was Emma Thompson, Hugh Grant, a gaggle of wonderful British actors. Ang Lee, phenomenal director. And Alan Rickman walked in, and he just said, hello. And he looked down at me, and I wasn't particularly short. I mean, I think I was probably the height that I am now already at that stage in my life. But somehow he seemed like a giant. He just seemed gigantic. And I do remember going weak at the knees, like actually going jelly legs and thinking, just don't fall down, don't fall down. That would be bad. That would be very, very bad. But of course, he was wonderful, as they all were. And I learned so much, not just about acting, but about how to behave on a film set, how to be prepared, how to conduct yourself, how to always be friendly, say hello to everyone, start the day with a bang, have that energy to just keep going. And, you know, it really can impact on the day that everyone has on set if the actors are really on it and being decent human beings, quite honestly. And I really, really learned that on that film from those wonderful people. I was very lucky.
It's hilarious to me that you think, oh, I did all right. Like, it's hilarious to me that you're like, it's like one of my favorite films with you. You're insane.
No, but you know how you learn over time, and you look back and you think, oh, I might have done that scene a bit differently.
No, I do that with singing, but you know what? We get in our way. You're who you are supposed to be in that moment for that thing. And that's who, no, I think it was beautiful. Sometimes I think we have to get out of our way.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I do agree with that.
Because, shut up, you were so good. God, I was like you and Emma Thompson. I was like, it was so good. Aww. Anyway, next, we're gonna talk about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is such a huge movie in pop culture. You're a part of so many of those, but what do you remember about this scene?
This was freezing cold, and it really was a frozen lake just outside of the city, and it was the middle of the night, probably 3 o'clock in the morning, when we shot that entire sequence. Yeah. And it was a thick frozen, yes, it was a lake, but it definitely made little sort of creaky crack noises, you know, when you walk across the ice. Yeah. And then when you can hear it crack underneath, and it goes, it was doing that. I was like, this is not a good idea at all. Why don't we all just go home?
Can we not fake this? Can we make it look like it's ice?
Sequence. But it was a lot of fun, that entire shoot. It was actually kind of a difficult shoot, which you wouldn't imagine, only because it was a brutal New York winter, and it was a 14-week shoot, which is quite long. Lee Miller, for example, we filmed in 9 weeks across 3 countries because we just didn't have the money to shoot any longer.
How tired were you?
Pretty tired, still recovering.
I was like...
Yeah, but no, Eternal Sunshine was really, really wonderful to be a part of, and a fantastic director, obviously Jim Carrey's, huge amounts of fun. Great people, really, really hardcore, homegrown New York crew on that show, and they were absolutely fantastic. And I still bump into a lot of them all the time, which is so nice,
That's so cool. Yeah, it's such a great cast. You can see Kate and Lee streaming now on Hulu and Disney+. We're gonna be right back.